Hi and welcome to episode 2 of the Dyer Journal. I'm Jackie.
I'm Helen.
And this is Helen. And together we make up Lowlander Yarn Studio. So hi everybody. I guess I should start by talking some rubbish because we
always talk rubbish.
we do always.
But it's good rubbish.
It's great rubbish.
Scottish rubbish.
Scottish crap.
Yeah.
But anyways, we first did episode 1 way back in, was it
November
of last year, and everybody has been like, when's episode 2 coming? And there's some reasons why we are this far along and just doing episode 2. So when we did episode 1, my mum, I'm from America, well actually I'm Scottish but I live in America, and my mum's from Scotland, and she was visiting last fall for my son's wedding, and we decided to do episode 1. So episode 1 was great. I don't know if you guys liked it, but we enjoyed it.
Did we?
I think we did.
After a bit.
So we were doing it together, and then the plan was for me to continue on the podcast. And I got a little camera shy. I tried a couple of times by myself, not having my mum with me. And it was just a little intimidated, so I kept putting it off. And then when I finally got round to doing one, Mum got sick and I had to plan a trip over to Scotland. And I'm in Scotland right now, visiting Mum for 4 weeks. We're just at the end of my trip. And figured we'd do episode 2 while I'm here, and hopefully episode 3 is going to come when I go back and I'm going to get rid of my camera shyness and everything else. So that is why we're so late with episode 2. So I do apologise. Life gets in the way, Anxieties get in the way, and I just don't like seeing myself. Well, the thing about it is, when you're doing it with 2, you're having a laugh.
Well, if you don't like seeing yourself, wear dark glasses. Or put the lights out.
Put the lights out.
That's even better.
So it's fun doing it with Mum. The thought of doing it on my own isn't so fun. And I must say, for the record, in the first one we uploaded, it didn't help that everybody was like, "Oh, Helen, you're so great. You're so natural." And I just felt a bit like Swiss cheese.
I just have the gift of the gab.
She does.
That's it.
So ladies, whether you like it or not, when I go back to America, episode 3 is just going to be me. Helen won't even be in it. Unless she'll get a mention.
Unless we become technologically savvy, which at the moment we're not, we could do a split screen.
We could do a split screen.
The Periscoping sisters do a split screen, but I don't think we're clever enough.
I honestly don't know if we could figure that. It took us all our time to figure out how to turn the camera around.
We've had 3 different tables to get the right height, and we still don't know if it's at the right height, but
so when we did our episode 1, we did a little spoof one first with just us goofing about, and then my son is a photographer and a videographer, and he's like, I can come and help you with all these paraphernalia equipment and stuff. And that's what the original first episode is. It took him how long?
3 hours to set up.
3 hours to set up.
We were losing the will to live.
Totally losing it. I mean, our tea was frozen.
I know.
I mean, so he had spotlights, he had like cameras, he had computers. I felt like I was in a movie.
I know. You didn't know where to look. There was that many appliances looking at you.
So he was going to do that for episode 2, and me and Mum decided that no, we're just going to use the tablet. We bought a little mic. So I don't actually know what this is going to sound like or look like.
Well, we'll find out.
But I guess we'll find out when we upload it. So.
All we can say is, if you enjoy it, give us a thumbs up. If you don't enjoy it, please don't give us a thumbs down. Just don't watch us again.
So anyways, welcome to episode 2 of the Dyer's Journal. And if you see me look to the left, that's because that's where my little notepad is. So we don't ramble on and forget everything that we're going to talk about.
Yep.
And yada, 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 yada. So I arrived in Scotland on... When did I get here?
Oh, May 6th. No,
that's when I go back.
April 6th. April
6th. So I've been here for 4 weeks. Normally when I come, I'm off doing stuff with family and seeing the sights of Scotland and all the stuff that I love to do usually. But this time around, I came to spend time with my mum and help her with some stuff. So we've just been on the lowdown. Just hanging out, having fun, knitting a lot, watching a lot of my mother's programmes that she likes to watch.
I like Poirot, and I like Heartbeat, and I like Jessica, whatever her name is, and Murder She Wrote. I like all these old programmes. They're good for me.
Yeah, well,
they cheer me up.
It's been cheer you up?
Yeah, they cheer me up. Yeah. Well, that murder, it cheers me up.
So yes, other than the programming, it has been a different type of trip, but it's been a nice trip. But we have did a couple of things while we've been here. We went to visit Kaz from the
Wee So-and-so.
The Wee So-and-so. My mum's known her
a few months now. Well, since last year I first discovered Kaz. I was looking for British and Scottish podcasts, and she was the first one that I discovered, Kaz, for the Wee So-and-so, and you really need to look her up. She is fantastic. But she invited us to her cottage when Jackie came over. Unfortunately, Carol, who works alongside us, lives in Aberdeen here, was unwell and wasn't able to go. But oh my goodness, what a welcome we got that day at Kaz's. Her and her husband David made us feel so much at home, and she lives, and we have a beautiful country, but she really does live in a beautiful area. Her cottage, although it's small, sits right in between the mountains with the loch at the front. It is, just wanted to stay there forever.
We took the bus up, which was great because we got to go through the Highlands and Glencoe, and she just stays in North Ballachulish in a little cottage, and we went there for the whole day. We talked life, knitting, podcasting.
Ate a lot of food.
The food was absolutely phenomenal.
The beef stew was awesome.
Oh my goodness, she made the best beef stew, and she made us Scottish broth soup, and it was absolutely fantastic. So yes, we had a great day. But if you have not watched Kaz from the Wee So-and-so, her podcast, you can watch her on YouTube, and she is absolutely great. Such a lovely person. And then my good friend Carol, mum's good friend Carol, came down from Aberdeen. She's part of a group called the Happy Hookers, and you can find her on Instagram.
My Wee Crafting Hame.
My Wee Crafting Hame.
My Wee Crafting Hame. I never get that right.
Yeah, we'll put the link below. But anyway, she came down for a great weekend. So we spent the whole weekend knitting and chatting, and she was finishing up actually an heirloom shawl for my niece who's about to have a baby, and she'd been working on it for how long?
It's 3 months.
3 months. This thing is absolutely stunning, phenomenal. So she literally was on a mission to finish that when she was down, and finish it. She did. She sat, I think, collectively for probably 12 hours working on it, finishing it, and it was a celebration when she was done. So
we did a happy dance.
So yeah, that was great. And also my mum and Carol, I'm going to hand it over to my mum. They went to, I didn't, but they went to EYF. We'll talk about your EYF experience.
Yeah, well, I'd been saving up because I'm in a pension, so I'd been saving up for ages, and my dream was to go to EYF. Unfortunately, about a month or so before that happened, I was diagnosed with cancer. Went through all the usual routines, meetings, scans, everything. And then it came time where I had to see the oncologist. So my consultant had said to me, my son and my granddaughter were with me, and he had said to me, I'm going to make your appointment to see the oncologist next Friday, Helen. And I just kind of looked. And then I looked at my son, and he went, Mum, you'll be back. I said, I won't, because it's on till Saturday. So the consultant says, is there a problem? I said, well, there is actually. I says, because see, next Wednesday or Thursday, I'm actually going to Edinburgh Yarn Festival Oh, he said, I've heard of that. I said, I've been saving forever. I said, but if I have to come back, he went, not at all. He said, you go to the Edinburgh Yarn Festival.
Yeah, so she did.
So we left on the Wednesday. We stayed at the Hampton by Hilton up at Fountain Bridge, which is about 10 minutes away from the Corn Exchange, where the Yarn Fest is held. Lovely hotel. And then Thursday morning we were up bright and early, had breakfast, and we got a bus along, because I didn't walk very well, so we got a bus along to the Yarn Fest, and oh my word, when we got off that bus, there was no way you could have got lost, because there were hundreds upon hundreds of women heading for the Corn Exchange. And we had pre-booked tickets, so we had bands, and even then we stood for 25 minutes in the queue. But however, we eventually did get in, and it was overwhelming, really. It really was overwhelming. I had no idea of the scale and the size of this Yarn Fest. If you ever get an opportunity to go, do it. It is worth the journey. And I was even more excited because I got to meet some of the people whose podcasts I follow. I met the Yarn Pimp, and I got a pin.
Sweet.
I met the couple from Fruity Knitting. I met the girls from Espastre Co, who were they were amazing. Isabel Kramer, I spoke to her for about 20 minutes outside. We took a drink outside, and she is so lovely, really so lovely. So many more of them I met. Stephen West. Oh yeah, Stephen West. I got a hug for Stephen West and a photograph, and he signed my bag.
So jealous.
But the one I think that sticks in my memory the most was Cathy for Not House Yarns. I've followed Not House Yarns for quite a wee while, but just to meet Cathy in person, and she's a fantastic person. She really, really is. And we message back and forward now, and she inquires about my health, and she prays for me and things. But I laughed at her because every single night she was there. Every single night, without exception. For her dinner, she had haggis. Followed by sticky toffee pudding. Wow. I said to her, you really do need Cathy to try something. Oh no, she says I love it. So, but anyway, haggis. So yeah.
Scottish folk don't even like haggis.
I like haggis. I don't
like
mind
haggis?
it. Yeah, I don't mind it.
I don't like haggis.
So the first place that I made for was Pink Hazel, because I wanted a Pink Hazel bag, but there is no way you could get near the stall. You just could not get near her booth. It was so many people. So we went to a few other booths, and we picked up some stitch markers, and then they had a button place there that sold handmade buttons. These buttons were absolutely beautiful.
Oh, I forgot to have them here to show.
Yeah, so Jackie likes to put buttons, well, you'll know that with the other podcast, she likes to put buttons on her shawls that she knits. So I got her a box of buttons, a bit pricey, but they were worth it. They were handmade, some of them were glass, they were really beautiful.
Gorgeous. I'll show those in the next podcast. They're all packed in my suitcase ready to go home. So,
and then we got I got this cup, this quirky cup, which I think it's great. It's a bit heavy.
Should have had your tea in that.
Should have had my tea in that. I know
really
it's a bit heavy, but I actually keep my pencils in it. But I'm not telling anybody. Myself to a Pink Hazel bag. I don't think this side our names on. The wee pin here that I got for somebody in America. But it's absolutely gorgeous, very well made, very well made.
Yes, it's lovely. I want one.
So that was my big treat to myself, was my Pink Hazel bag. Lovely, really is well made. It's lovely.
Yes, her bags are such great quality.
I got a couple of skeins of yarn from Eden Cottage Yarns, but I can't show you them because I actually have started a project which is a gift, so I can't show that. And then we got I was gifted a couple of skeins of yarn by I feel bad now, I cannot remember their name, but it was a local firm. They come from Falkirk.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
They gifted me a skein of yarn, and also they gifted me a bag as well. But it just was a fantastic day. We met some lovely people. The thing for me was when you were walking about Edinburgh Yarn Fest, the sweaters and the shawls that people were wearing that they had made, the colours were just absolutely amazing.
Excuse the pinging in the background, it's my mother's command centre.
My mother's command centre.
So you'll hear a lot of pinging in the background.
But some really beautiful, and then we met, oh my goodness, we met so many lovely people at the hotel. We met Lena from Denmark, who hung around with us for the 3 days. In fact, we just FaceTimed last week. Bill and Linda from Newcastle, we met them, and Bill had a very bad injury to his back years ago and was completely disabled. He couldn't walk anywhere, and he got fed up sitting about the house, but he knew that his mother knitted, so he asked her for some knitting pins and some yarn, which she gave him, and he now creates some absolutely beautiful shawls.
I think men make phenomenal
knits. He is just amazing, absolutely amazing.
Because they don't have any inhibitions.
Yeah, no, they don't.
Go with the
and
flow.
Then we met, Joanne came to the hotel, and some girl had organised a big knit night there on the Friday night, so everybody joined into that, and Joanne, one of the organisers of EYF, came along, so she had a good chat with us. The unfortunate thing about it is, I don't want to go in too much because we're taking up time, is that it's not on next year.
You should mention that, yeah.
Yeah, EYF is not on in 2020 because the girls feel that they need to have a break, obviously for family and things like that. And it's getting bigger and it's getting better, so I think when it comes back in 2021, it will be even bigger and better.
I think it'll be even better.
But if you're making a trip to Scotland anytime, September, October, November, we have lots of yarn fests. Loch Ness Yarn Fest, Perth Yarn Fest, Portsoy Yarn Fest, Aberdeen Yarn Fest. There's always a yarn fest going on at some point or other. So... But that was my trip to EYF. Absolutely amazing. Loved every minute.
I was so jealous that I couldn't be here.
Yeah.
And I've been planning to try and come, but unfortunately this year I had to come. Well, I wasn't going to come this year. Anyways, I was possibly going to go next year, but it's not on, so I won't get to go. So, but I have knit a lot. Unfortunately, I don't really have any yarns to show you because I'm in Scotland and my dye studio's in Missouri. So, but I can show you.
And what yarns you did bring, you gifted.
Yeah,
so
I did bring them, but I gifted it to Mum and some other people. But yes, I've been working on some things since I've been here, and I think I've finished 2 or 3 projects. One of the things I was working on, and I'll put all the links below, but I had started a project just before I left. Everybody was knitting it. It was the end project in it. And it's called the 3-Colour Cashmere Cowl by Jo Cowl, and I'll put the link below. When I start a project, but I start off with a partner and I just run and do my own thing because I like my own way of doing things or whatever. But it's an awesome pattern and a lot of people are knitting it, and it's a great pattern for minis or if you got scrap yarn, that leftover yarn that you have. I did it in a fingering weight yarn, which is what the pattern calls for. And this looks like wrong way. This looks like all one colour of yarn, but it's not. There are, I think, 6 different colours of yarn. And this was just leftover yarn that I had in my scrap basket. It's
so soft.
Sockalicious yarn that we sell on our website. And it's a fingering weight yarn, and use it for socks and shawls. It's a great yarn. It's very flexible, very durable, and very, very soft. So
it is soft. It's so soft. It's lovely.
And I absolutely love fall colours. So I knit that and finished it. So I was pretty happy with that.
Yay! A finished object.
I know. And then I just bummed about with some wool from Mum when I was here. I raided her yarn stash.
Yeah, she did.
And I actually can't believe how much yarn this woman owns.
I know. I should open my own yarn store.
She has so much yarn. It is like in every cupboard, every drawer, everything.
A girl can never have enough yarn.
So I wanted to knit a little Fair Isle cowl, just do it myself, make up my own thing and run with it. So I raided her stash. So I knit this little... it's just a little short cowl just to cover my neck in the cold weather in Missouri. I'll put it up close. But I kind of did my own thing. But I did write the pattern down as I was going. So this is probably going to be a freebie that I put up on our website, or I'll link it to our next podcast. It's just on a pad right now. I got to write it up and put it on a PDF. So I shall get that wrote up, but I just love this. And you will see behind you, this was something I also started. So this is just a simple summer shawl. I knit it in a really big needle. I knit it in a size 15 because I wanted something really airy and light, because the summers in Missouri get so hot. But I'm not a short t-shirt person, so I wanted something to kind of cover me up a little bit. So I just took some of my Highland Way yarn, which is 100% merino, or Highland Way. You can find that on our website too. And I paired it with some kid silk so that it would create some lightness, and I just done it in a really big needle. This will actually go into a kit once I write the pattern up. Very simple pattern, but I think I'm going to do it in kits. And then my mum had this lovely Rennie McIntosh scarf ring. So I, as my mum said, I love buttons.
Which I'm keeping my eye on, by the way.
It's going with me.
Yeah.
So I love buttons for my shawl. I'm not a tie shawl person or wrap it all around you. I like to button my shawls or have scarf rings. So as you can see, it's just a simple shawl design, just knit in a really big needle.
It's lovely. It's got a lovely halo with that, with the yarn going through it.
So I paired it. It was a variegated yarn that I paired with kid silk, so it has that lovely haze.
Did you dye that? The yarn?
Yeah.
Did you dye it?
So I absolutely love it. So hopefully the kits will be available soon, and it is so light. So I did that, so that'll go on the kit. And I wanted to crochet something when I was here, just a mindless project, because I love crocheting. So I'm not completely finished it yet. This is just a me thing. There's no yarn to plug, there's no nothing, because I already did stash.
Yeah.
And it's all clipped at the top. So I wanted a notions bag that was crocheted. So I just did a simple granny square construction, double-sided, and then as you can see I just joined it all with slip stitches to make it one big panel, and then sewed it down the edges, and then what you do is you just get a notions pouch to put in it,
Which is mine.
which is hers, which I'm taking with me. And when I get home, I'm just going to stitch it to the top there, so it all closes up. So that's why I got the clips on it right now, but I actually quite like this. So it was just a simple one-nighter project that I did while I was watching TV. So it's always fun to have those little simple things that you can do or whatever. And let me see what else I got. I think for me that's about it. So that's what I've been knitting since I've been in Scotland, and I got another couple of projects I am going to be putting on my needle, which I'll show in the next podcast. But obviously, because I'm travelling, I didn't have a whole lot with me, and so I don't have a lot on my needles. In fact, everything that was on my needles is now off my needles, which actually is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Because I actually have some finished projects. So that's what I've been working on. What has Helen been working on?
Well, I've been working on quite a wee bit. We went to, I belong to the group, as you know, the Happy Hookers, and after EYF, I mean, the doctors in that hospital are having a fit because they're having to work around my diary. After EYF, we went to Aberdeen for a twice yearly retreat, and this was the first retreat of this year. We went to Aberdeen, there was, I think, 7 of us up there, and at that time I really wasn't 100%, so I really didn't know. I was struggling to knit. I really was struggling. It was tiring me out. But I had started the Jackie's Design by Imagination shawl, and I thought I'm never ever going to get this finished, and I actually did.
I love the yarn.
Wait a minute, are we upside down? I thought, yeah, here we go. The yarn is Regia silk sock yarn. It's a 4-ply. Well, yeah, it's a bit of 4-ply. I just did this in the one colour, but it just is. It's absolutely lovely, and I love to wear it. I think when I actually made it, I think Jacqueline wore it
I
first.
did actually.
Yeah.
I stole it one night. She's like,
Yeah,
is that
that's
my
my
scarf?
scarf.
I'm like, well, it's my part.
So yeah, I mean, it's just it's lovely and soft.
It is
and,
beautiful, yeah.
and I think the pattern's available. Is the pattern
Yes,
available?
you can find Design by Imagination on Ravelry. It's on there for sale. And the Design by Imagination was my very first shawl pattern that I wrote. And the reason it's called Design by Imagination is because the pattern is kind of set out for you, but you have free reign to do some things in it. So it really does become your own design.
Yeah.
So we've had a lot of people knit it now.
Well, one of the girls, one of the happy hookers at Aberdeen wanted a shawl pattern. She hadn't actually done a shawl pattern before. So I took the pattern Design by Imagination, and she chose 3 colours. She chose a kind of lilac-y variegated, and a deeper lilac, and then a deep purple. She did it in 3 colours, and I wish I had it to show you because it was absolutely stunning. And she put in lots of eyelet rows. She wanted a lot of eyelet rows, so between garters and eyelet rows, but it was beautiful. It really was. And this is a cardigan. A wee story about that.
There is a wee. There's always a wee story.
I started that cardigan 2 years ago to take with me one fall when I was going over to America. My pet hate is doing button bands. I cannot stand. I would pay somebody to do my button bands because I hate them.
Wouldn't it be me?
And then I just go, I'm not drone on about it, but when I found out that I had cancer, all of a sudden there was just a sense of urgency about everything. I don't know why, fear, whatever, I don't know, but I just had this overwhelming sense of urgency. So I went into the bedroom and I went, right, I'm getting all these bags out with all these unfinished projects, and this was one of them. I wept tears over that thing because I picked up the stitches and it wasn't the right amount of stitches. I took it out, picked it up again, and there was too many stitches, and I went, I am really, really about to throw this in the bin. And then Jacqueline looked over and she went, Mum, who did you knit that for? I said, I knitted it for me. She went, I don't think that's going to fit you. I went, yeah, well. She went, no, I don't think it is. So she put it on, and she's a lot slimmer than me, and it fitted her to a T. And I thought, well, I have to finish this. So it just was a pattern for a cardigan that I took mainly to find out how many stitches I needed for a cardigan, and then I just did my own thing. But it is lovely, and it's done in
Love it.
a really popular yarn here called Stylecraft Special Double Knitting, which I use a lot of. Although it's an acrylic yarn, it's a very soft acrylic yarn, and I love it because you can just bung it in the washing machine. I do not like to hand wash. So that was the second thing I was working on. Jackie made me a DPN holder to hold my socks. These things are absolutely great. I love them because it saves your needles for coming off your pins.
They're great.
And they're just great. And anyway, this is how far I've got with the sock after 2 years. I've just turned the heel, so maybe in the next 2 Christmases he'll get them for his Christmas. He'll probably have outgrown them by then, but never mind. And this is in my Piggy's Market bag. This is a girl who is in England here. Her bags are very inexpensive but exceptionally well made.
Very well made.
I also have a DPN cozy to go with this bag. I loved it with all the wee socks hanging in the light.
I love that fabric.
More socks than I can knit. But I don't know where the DPN holder is. But and the yarn that I'm using for the socks is Regia or Regia, however you want to pronounce it. Don't have the band, so I don't know the colourway.
I say Regia.
Oh, wait a minute.
You say Regina.
Yeah,
I
do have the colourway here. Just hold it. Well, actually, they only have a number, so it's 03731. But
that's it right there.
Regia sock wool is.
Yeah, it's.
And
so
I use it for
great.
shawls. I use it for everything, and
That's
I have
a
lot of this. I'm actually going to knit a sweater, and I'm really adventurous. I'm knitting a 4-ply sweater, but ever, and I think that's it for me.
So, what goodies have I collected along the way? Because you can't come home without collecting goodies or people giving you goodies. So I have a little bag down here with lots of goodies in it. And firstly, the bag that I have them in is a bag my mum bought me. It has absolutely nothing to do with knitting, nothing to do with this podcast, but has to do with me. So hopefully you can read this. It says, you can take the girl out of the drum, but you can't take the drum out of the girl. The reason for this bag is I come from a little place in Glasgow called Drumchapel, and it's a great little place to grow up in, to be whatever. It's a real community or whatever. So anyways, that's why she bought me the bag, because even though I'm in America and I might adopt a lot of the American ways, I am still a drummy girl.
Yeah, it's called Drumchapel, but we call it the drum for short. So,
the short, so
yeah.
and
Somebody
all
actually
that to say-
thought she was in a drum band, but I had to correct them. I
Yeah,
said
I
no.
had to correct them. So I love my bag. It's going home with me. And in here, first of all, my good friend and Mum's good friend Carol always buys me knitting goodies when
They
she's
call
here.
Gadget the gadget queen because she's
Gadget queen.
forever buying gadgets.
She's forever buying gadgets, and she always gives you the greatest gadgets and the greatest things, and I love it. I love getting my little treats from Carol. So Carol, if you're watching,
Thank you very much.
I love you. This was my favourite, if I can get it opened. Carol bought for me and Mum.
It's very difficult.
Okay, I got
There
it.
you go.
This little thing I'm going to put in a chain, and people do, and you put it round your neck, and it is a little cutter that you can travel with and take on the plane, because guess what?
They take
Sometimes
your scissors
they
off
take
you.
your scissors. So just couple of tips when you're traveling on an airplane, because us knitters have to take our knitting with us. Never take good needles and never take good scissors. Take your rubbish needles and your rubbish scissors, because sometimes they don't take them and sometimes
They do.
they do take them.
They do.
So all that to say, that is a little cutter, and you're allowed those in the airplane. So that will go on a chain and it will travel with me back and forth. But I absolutely love these scissors. They are absolutely gorgeous. I have no clue where Carol got them from. It was just a gift. Class is what they're called. So if you want to Google that and Google them, they are absolutely gorgeous. I love scissors. I love all types of scissors. I love fancy scissors. I just love scissors. So thank you, Carol, for that. And don't know if you bought me that or
Carol bought you that.
Carol bought me
Yeah.
this little Bits and Bobs tin, which I absolutely love. You can see it right there, and it's got little yarn balls on the side. And of course, like every good knitter, I have all my little bits and bobs inside it, and I absolutely love it. It is a great size, because sometimes as knitters our cases, our little notion box is too small or too big. This is a perfect size.
That was from Wool for You in Aberdeen.
This was, yes, she got them from Wool for You in Aberdeen. They sold them up there. Mum had taken a visit up to Carol's while I was here. Not when I was here. Did you go up to Carol's when I was here?
Yeah,
Oh
we had a retreat,
no,
yeah.
my mum had been in a retreat
Yeah.
up in Aberdeen, and they went to Wool for You for the day, which was great. That's a great little wool shop.
Yeah,
if you
it is.
ever.
Should follow them. Follow them on Instagram and Facebook.
Yes.
It's brilliant.
So I got that, and Mum is always getting me little bits and bobs, just because she's a bits and
Knick-knacks.
bobs queen.
Knick-knacks,
Knick-knacks. So she's always getting me little books, or little notepads, or sticky pads, or whatever. So she bought me about 5 of these little notebooks. Well, it's not a notebook, but, and when you open it up, you have all these little different
Sticky notes.
sticky notes, which are great for putting notes on your knitting, or keeping a place in something. So I absolutely love them, and it all folds up just like that, so it can fit in my suitcase. Because when Mum buys me stuff when I come over, she's always looking for small stuff, because I overpack. So that was that. And she also bought me, which I love.
She's so fortunate, you know.
I
She
know.
really is so fortunate.
That's what I love about coming home. Everybody buys me everything. It's so great. I'm a spoiled brat, by the way. I'm totally spoiled.
Yeah.
Am I spoiled?
I'm saying nothing.
My brother and sister tell me I'm the golden child. I don't know if I'm the golden
No,
child,
I think Paul is definitely golden child.
but I'm a bit spoiled. So Mum got me, see if I can not get them on there shiny. she got me these little Scottish key rings, and as you can see, they have little Highland sheep, and this one, little Highland sheep. You know,
Highland cows, yeah, get it right, Jack.
I've been away too long, Highland sheep, Highland cows. And then this one is a little Scotty dog. So these will go in my Notion bags when I get home as a zip pull. Mm-hmm. So I love those.
I'm desperate to see what else is in this bag.
And Mum is, I'm not even kidding you, she is the little tin queen. She has so many
I like
tins.
little tins. And
I
I
don't
like
know
bags.
what she does. She likes bags and she
I definitely
likes
like
tins.
bags. I have too many bags.
Actually, this is how much she likes bags. I'm looking for some yarn, and in 3 of her drawers, they're just packed with project bags.
Yeah, sorry, but...
And 80% of them don't have anything in them, they're just in there.
Oh, they will have one day.
And I'm like, what are you going to do with 100 project bags?
You never know.
I don't know what she can do with them all, but anyway, she likes to collect project bags and little Notions tins. So.
I might give you some to put in your giveaways.
Yeah, there you go. So she bought me these little tiny Notion tins, which I absolutely love, and they, one minute, how do they work?
Slide.
They slide. Hold on a second, technical. Oh, there we go. They slide like that, and they come apart, but I just love the little floral stuff. So
I keep my stitch markers in it.
Yeah, little great tin for stitch markers. Where did you get these from?
Online, we got them. We saw them at Edinburgh Yarn Fest, Carol and I. We went for a cup of coffee, and then Carol went, we really should go and buy some of these tins before they get sold out. And we forgot, and the following day when we went back, they were sold out. So we managed to find some online.
And then I went shopping one day. I didn't buy a whole lot because my suitcase is very packed. But I found these little teapot charms, which see if I can pop one up. You can see it right there. Oh, it's so good. I'm going to make them into some stitch markers, and they'll go on the website when I get back. I might actually make them progress keepers is what I'll make them, but I can't wait to get those on a little whatever it is you use for
lobster hook.
Lobster. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Lobster clasp.
Lobster clasp. People are watching this video and they're shouting, lobster clasp.
Yeah. Anyways,
thank you. We got
whatever it is you use for a progress keeper. So, anyways, those will be on the website. So that is my little haul of goodies, and I guess I should talk just a little bit of business. I mean, I'm kind of on vacation, but I should talk about a little bit about what some plans are when I go back. This year, which wasn't on the last podcast, I don't think, this year I started my very first club as a business, which was a little nerve-wracking, but it's the Mini Me Club, and it runs all year round, and people bought into it at the beginning of the year, and they get 6 packages a year, so they get one every 2 months, plus if they signed up they got a special birthday package, which I send them on their birthday. So that's going well. I'm 4 months into it and getting ready when I go back to Dyer to send the 3rd parcel out, and it's been great. It's been great to do. It's so much fun to, in fact, when I was here I found some little goodies to put in the next one, so they're going to get some little goodies all the way from Scotland. So yeah, that's been really fun to do, and then we'll be gearing up here soon. I know it's terrible to say Christmas, but
yeah, we
will be gearing up here soon to release for open order for our advent calendars. So yeah, we usually start those in July in terms of advertisement, so that people can get signed up and paid for and everything else. And yes, it's like Christmas in July. And then also, hopefully, when I get back, website's on hold right now, obviously, because I'm in Scotland. So I got a lot of new yarns to get on there, and a lot of I got some bags to go on there.
Finish patterns for kits.
Yes, I have some patterns that I'm finishing up for kits and stuff like that. Obviously, I don't have anything here to show you because I'm on holiday. But yes. So yeah, there's going to be lots coming up when I get back, and that's really about it. And from our wee house in Glasgow, we bid you farewell.
And haste you back.
Bye.